Today we are having a hearing about the law firm Foley Mansfield. Foley Mansfield is a nationwide law firm that has been serving customers from 14 national regions since 1989. For this audit, we will be focusing primarily on the New York office. In this hearing, they will be judged on their talent acquisition practices and workplace policies, their diversity and client representation and brand image, pay equity and compensation practices, employee engagement and career development, accessibility and inclusive workplace. In the end, they will receive a ranking, and we will see if they plead guilty or not guilty in their practices.
At Foley Mansfield, when openings are posted, they are open to all and there are no specific groups that are targeted. The qualifications are looked at first and the perceived competency rates. So the correct experience, academics, and skill sets are looked at. They also have HR policies that are distributed periodically. There's a section addressing discrimination in the employee handbook. An example of a discriminatory claim would be a quid pro quo. A claim would result in the victim reporting it to HR. After the complaint is made, an internal process and investigation is done to confirm if the allegations are true or not. True allegations lead to correct actions like termination, for example. Victims are protected through federal and state laws and policies.
Foley Mansfield, they've collaborated with marketing directors on DEI content, highlighting underrepresented attorneys during respected heritage months. They've published DEI fact sheets on websites, which has addressed the Equal Pay Act, and they promoted DEI awards and programs for diverse associates. However, it doesn't directly target diverse clients. They also share DEI fact sheets and proposals. They have website materials that show firms the DEI's commitment, and they have hard-to-measure DEI impact on client decisions, as well as tracking internal metrics such as recruitment, retention, promotion. Foley Mansfield measures employee engagement regarding diversity and inclusion by listening to employee feedback. They also look at the employee retention. The better the culture, the longer people will stay. Foley Mansfield also takes initiative to make others from diverse backgrounds be included by completing stay interviews. The measurement for diversity goals at Foley Mansfield by targeting a certain number of certifications each year. They make sure employees from all underrepresented groups are hired. They have at least 30% of total candidates come from women, people of color, LGBTQ, disabled, and subgroups. Also consider employees' policies for religious holidays. They make sure employees are prepared for promotion by selecting employees to receive leadership training each year and promotions based on their performance.
At Foley Mansfield, they have done pay equity and analysis in the past, as there was a incident years ago where the disparity was unjustified and noticed. As a result, efforts were made to create more parity between female and male wages. Their promotions are based off criteria and merit that's used to determine if the person is the right fit for the position and if the person fits the firm's standards of work. Lastly, they make sure pay equity is something that is taken care of and is apples to apples.
When hiring new employees, some key qualifications they look for are strong academics, relevant experience, and being well-rounded. Typically, when looking for candidates, they are within the 3 to 5 years of legal experience, which usually leads to a younger age group. Roles requiring more experience, though, such as partner level or certain non-legal positions, tend to attract more senior professionals. In terms of training, they offer summer associate programs as well as training for hired attorneys. For employee retention, external organization for annual certification are used. A key goal is for 30% of candidates considered for promotions and 30% of participants on client pitch teams come from underrepresented groups.
Let me introduce Foley Mansfield's inclusive workspace policy. First is support for people with disabilities. The company strictly adheres to the American with Disabilities Act and relevant state laws. Second is cultural and religious needs. The company is very flexible about the cultural and religious needs of its employees. If employees need to take leave or adjust their working hours for religious reasons, the company will offer support. The last is equal treatment. According to the law, the company provides equal benefits to all employees, regardless of age, gender, race, sexual orientation, and disability. These policies reflect Foley Mansfield's respect and support for every employee.
Visiting Foley Mansfield in New York, we saw that there was some diversity with employees. However, we noticed that the majority were from the same ethnicity and they weren't so different from each other in that aspect. Despite that, there was a friendly environment, and we noticed that all the employees got along, promoting an inclusive environment.
Overall, we find Foley Mansfield not guilty. We rate Foley Mansfield a 3.5 out of 5. While they show clear strengths in promoting diversity and inclusion through their marketing and mentorship, there's still room for growth in areas such as like a broader community outreach and more transparent career advancement paths. From a course perspective, they demonstrate a solid alignment with concepts like inclusive organizational culture and strategic employer branding. However, to truly stand out in a competitive talent market, especially in the legal industry, firms need to go beyond internal efforts and make DEI a core part of their external impact and leadership development.